Today, we have our e-report. My name is Nathan. I am one of your teachers here on the show. Now, in today's e-report, we will be talking about salt farming in Tainan. Salt farming in Tainan. Have you ever been to Tainan, Katie?
No, I have never been to Tainan, but it is definitely somewhere that I want to go someday. Hi everyone, my name is Katie and I'm your other teacher here on the show. You know, Nathan, I've never heard of a salt farm. I thought farms just had fruit, vegetables, and animals.
Well, when I think of farms, I think of that too, Katie. Most farms grow something like corn, and they have lots of animals like cows. But I guess some farms have salt.
Well, I wonder what a salt farm is like. You can't grow salt like you grow plants. I thought that there were places that made salt instead.
Maybe there are, but there must be a way to get salt on a farm too. That's what today's e-report is all about.
So we'll be learning a lot with you today, friends. Before our e-report, let's start by talking about key words with our word lady.
Hello， 大家好，我们一起来学习今天的单字。今天的第一个单字是形容词 valuable， 贵重或是有价值的。这个字比较长，所以我们拆开来记会比较容易。valuable， valuable。第二个字是形容词 inexpensive， 不贵，便宜的。一样，这个字也是要来拆开背比较快。inexpensive。再来是 pump， 它可以当作动词，也可以当名词用。只要是抽水或是打气这样的动作，都可以叫做 pump。而名词的 pump 指的就是抽水或者是打气的机器。接下来是名词 pile， 指的是一堆一堆的堆。A pile of salt 就是一堆盐。A pile of books 是一堆书。下来这个单字是形容词 dangerous， 危险的。对于开车技术很差或者是喜欢开车直闯的人，我们会说 he is a dangerous driver。最后一个单字也是形容词 strong， 强壮有力的。我哥哥的力气很大， he is very strong。
E-report. Hello everyone, my name is Gabe and this is E-report. Today, E-report is going to take a look at something very important, but I want you to guess what it is. Alright, here's your first clue. It is small and white. You don't know yet? Clue number 2. Many people use this when they are cooking food. Indeed, it makes many foods taste better. Do you know the answer? You're right, it is salt. And right now, I am standing on a mountain of salt.
Salt. You can find salt in many places. You can taste salt in a meal. You can see salt when you put it on your food. You can find lots of salt in the ocean or under the ground. For hundreds of years, people around the world have used salt. Salt was once very valuable because it was used in many things. A long time ago, soldiers were even paid with salt. Today, salt is easy to get and inexpensive. You can get salt in a store, at the ocean, or on a dinner table. If you go to Chigu salt fields near Tainan, you can climb a mountain of salt. This mountain or hill is called Salt Mountain, and it is a popular place for visitors. This salt is very hard, so visitors can come and walk on this big mountain of salt and enjoy the view. What can you see from the top? A lot of salt fields. Visitors can also swim in special salt pools. The salt in the pool is very strong. This helps visitors float on the water. But be careful, you don't want this water in your eyes. Salt in your eyes can hurt.
Wow, Chigu has a lot of salt. Salt fields, salt mountain, and salt pools. I guess they can have a salt farm too.
And all that salt is not only good for a farm. It gives people a lot of things to do, like climbing Salt Mountain.
And that was a lot of salt. I've never seen so much salt before. It would be fun to see it. It's not really a mountain, though. It's not as big as a mountain.
Well, that's true, but it's still called Salt Mountain. And I know someone called Christina who wants to tell us all about using the word called.
在七股的盐田里，把盐堆得像一座山，就叫做盐山。你还可以去爬盐山哦。You can climb a mountain of salt called Salt Mountain. 我们要来讲这个句尾的片语 called Salt Mountain. 从文法上来说，它是一个过去分词片语，用来修饰前面的 a mountain of salt. 我们来举2个例子看看，让你看得更清楚一点。There is a very smart girl called Cindy. 有一个很聪明的女孩叫做 Cindy.Called Cindy 就是分词片语，修饰 girl。再来看一个例子 We stayed in a hotel called Sunny Inn. 我们住在一间叫做 Sunny Inn 的旅馆。这些都是过去分词片语做成形容词用的例子。
And here are some more examples. This show is called Let's Talk in English. And today's lesson is called an e-report. Now, what else is fun in today's e-report so far, Katie?
Well, I think it would be really fun to swim in the salt pools. The ocean has salt in it, but I think the salt pools probably have even more.
And if there is a lot of salt in the water, it is easy to float in. If something floats, it stays at the top of the water.
Oh, I've seen pictures of people floating in salt water. It's like they're laying down on top of the water.
Wow, I guess all the salt really does help you float. When we say all the salt like that, it means there is a lot of salt. How else can we use all the something, Katie?
Well, all the butter in that food is not good for you. Or all the sugar in the drink will keep you from sleeping.
Those are good examples, Katie. Well, now we should go to learn some more in the next part of our e-report.
There are many different kinds of farms. Rice farms, fish farms, animal farms of all different kinds. And of course, there are lots of different kinds of salt farms. Salt farmers work in a field like the one behind me to get salt. And where does salt come from? I'm glad you asked. It comes from the ocean. When you go swimming in the ocean, sometimes you can taste the water. Does that water taste great? No, it doesn't, right? What does the water taste like? Well, of course, it tastes salty.
Long ago, salt farming took a long time. This is a salt field. Visitors come here and learn how to get salt using tools from long ago. The salt comes from the ocean water. Water needs to go in and out of the fields. So farmers used a special tool. It is like a bicycle and pump together. The farmer walks on the machine and pumps ocean water out of the field. The sun is the most important tool for salt farming. The hot sun dries the water and leaves the salt behind after a good week of good weather. Then a farmer uses a rake and collects the salt from the water. It is a lot of work, and the arms of a farmer can get very sore. The farmer makes a big pile of salt. In a salt field, there are many piles of salt. Then the farmer takes a shovel and puts the salt into a basket. The farmer will then carry the salt in the baskets. The baskets are very heavy.
Oh, okay. So now we know how the salt farm works. The farm does not grow salt, but collects it from the salt fields.
Now, if a farm collects something, they go out and pick it up. People also collect things that they like, maybe like books or art, but that's a little bit different.
But the salt comes from ocean water. We all know ocean water is salty. It has a lot of salt in it. The ocean water is dried in the salt fields and it leaves salt.
Right. When the salt water dries, only the salt is left. So we say the water leaves salt. Like when you go out to eat, you might leave the food you don't like.
Or when we eat meat, like chicken, we leave the bones. But I have a big question. The salt is left in the field, but how did the salt water get to the fields anyway?
That's a very important question. And a key word is the answer. Do you know what key word is used to put water on the fields? Of course, it's a pump.
Oh, the pump was that wheel we saw. You make the wheel move with your feet, and then the wheel moves the salt water into the fields. That was pretty cool.
Yes, that was very interesting. It was a little like a bicycle, but that kind of pump is too old and too slow now.
So the salt farm doesn't use it anymore. They use a newer, faster pump instead.
But with the old pump or the new pump, rakes are used to collect the salt in. Now, in some places, rakes are also used to put leaves on the ground together in one place.
The rakes are used to make piles of both the salt and the leaves. Pile is another key word today, and Christina wants to give you some examples of it.
盐农用耙子把盐堆成大大的一堆一堆的。A farmer uses a rake to make a big pile of salt. 这里的 pile 是今天的单字，我们来讲讲它的用法。A pile 就是一堆，你可以说 a pile of dirty clothes， 一堆脏衣服，或是 two piles of stones， 两堆石头。它常常跟介系词 in 连在一起用。比如我把所有的报纸堆在一起，就是 I put all the papers in a pile。把所有的脏衣服放成一堆，就是 put all the dirty clothes in a pile。或者我在一堆垃圾里找到你的皮夹，就是 I found your wallet in a pile of trash。这些都是单字 pile 的用法。
We are back with our e-report for May. We are talking about salt farming in Tainan. Now, at the salt farm, they collect salt from ocean water.
That's right, and there are lots of things for visitors to do at the salt farm. They can swim in the salt pools or climb the salt mountain. Let's see what else you can do in the next part of our e-report.
Let's visit a salt museum. At this museum, visitors can also learn about salt farming around the world. Some cities become very big and popular because of salt. Maybe you know the city of Salzburg in Austria. The city name means Salt Mountain. In this salt museum, visitors can learn about the many uses and history of salt farming in Tainan. Farmers had to be very strong to work every day in the salt fields. Sometimes salt was found underground. People often had to dig for salt in salt mines. That was often a dark and dangerous job. Today, salt mining is easier. In the city of Tainan, salt farming is not so popular anymore. Salt is easy to get from other places because machines do this job. Now people can get many different kinds of salt. Table salt, sea salt, rock salt, and many other kinds of salt.
Well, that soup is tasty, but I think it needs some more salt. Excuse me, could somebody please pass me some salt? Ah, thank you. There we go. Well, salt can make food taste better, but be careful, because too much salt is not good for you. Actually, if you have a lot of salt, you might get sick. Well, this is Gabe for E-Report. Oh no, that's way too salty. Whew. Ah, nice. Salt coffee. We'll see you next time.
Okay, Katie, let's see if we can remember all the things that people can do at the salt farm in Chigu. First, they can climb Salt Mountain.
And you can try floating in the salt pools. But you can also see the salt fields and use the old wheel pump. And then you can use rakes to put the salt in piles.
So you can do many fun things while also learning how the salt farm works. But you can learn even more if you go to the Salt Museum.
Yes, the salt farm shows you one way to do salt farming. But the Salt Museum shows you ways that it is done in different parts of the world.
There are salt fields in Chigu, but other places have salt mines. Mines are places underground where we find things to use. What other kinds of mines are there, Katie?
Well, there are coal mines. Coal is something you can burn. But there are also mines with expensive things in them too. Some mines have gold or silver.
Ah, and lots of diamonds come from mines too. Things that come from mines are usually very important or very expensive. But I would not like to work in a mine.
Oh, no. Mines are very dark because they're underground. Working in a dark place like that might be scary.
And dangerous. Things might fall in mines, or people might fall in the dark. I think it's good that salt mining is much easier today.
Me too. And when Nathan says salt mining is easier today, he means it's easier now. We often use the word today to talk about things now.
And now we need to review all of today's keywords together.
Here is today's first keyword. Valuable. Valuable. That book is valuable and expensive.
Inexpensive. Inexpensive. Let's buy this food. It's inexpensive.
Pump. Pump. I have a flat tire. Where is a pump?
Pile. Pile. There are 15 books in this pile.
Dangerous. Dangerous. Be careful. This road is dangerous.
Strong. Strong. Tim can lift the heavy box. He's strong.
Well, those are all of your keywords for today. Now, it's time to take a look at our feature.
We hope you enjoyed today's e-report, everyone. It's fun to visit new places, and e-report takes us somewhere new every month.
So now maybe you know a new place that you can visit, the salt farm in Tainan. If not, at least you know a little more about where salt comes from.
And you know a little more English, too. Maybe the next time you put a little salt on your food, you'll think of the things that we learned today.